Good morning, bird brains, and welcome to the 2018 plan update. Just an exciting video. I really want to do this video on the bike, but just like the rest of the country, we haven't been having the best of weather lately. San Antonio was kind of freaking out. We had 4 consecutive days where we were under freezing, which doesn't happen. But the weather this weekend is actually looking very promising, so I promise we'll get back to bike videos as soon as possible. So I'm assuming that you clicked on this video because of the name of the title, but I'm gonna save that juicy little bit of info till the very end, but I've got 2 other really exciting announcements. So the first one isn't so much of an announcement as it is just a goal and plan for 2018. Towards the end of 2017, I kind of looked back on the rest of the year and thought about what I would have changed if I could have. So for 2018, I don't make the same mistakes. And one of the things that stuck out to me a lot is the lack of trips, the lack of rallies, things of that nature. So for 2018, we have at least 1 trip planned. I say we, I mean me and most of the OG crew. We're actually going to be riding out to Big Bend National Park. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Texas, here's a map of Texas. This is how big Big Bend National Park is. It's a very large national park. It's also a very beautiful national park. This is out in West Texas. It runs along the US-Mexico border, big mountain ranges, open desert. It's going to be great footage. And then on top of that, we have a couple more trips. They're just not nearly as in set of a stage as that one is. And also the dates for the Big Bend trip aren't even that set in stone, but they will come sometime during 2018. On top of that, I also am going to try to make as many local events as well as big motorcycle rallies. I've missed the ROT rally, which is the Republic of Texas rally, for the last 2 or 3 years because I've been working. I'm going to try to not let that happen again. I don't want to go to the actual event because it's like $90 and apparently it's no better than the stuff that takes place outside the event, but I do want to go to Austin for the actual event and just go and get you guys some awesome footage, awesome coverage of the event, and I just think it would be a great ride, a great time as always. My next goal for 2018 was to buy a few more pieces of gear to kind of take my channel to the next level. I feel like that is one part that is kind of hindering my abilities. For those of you who have been on the channel for a while, you know I used to do video professionally, so I'm no stranger to what I need and what I can do with certain tools, basically. So the first little piece of gear that I bought for 2018 is this little guy right here. This is the Mobo rotating time-lapse. I don't know the official name for it. Basically, it's gonna let me get shots like this. As you know, I'm a big fan of time lapses, especially when we're stopping to eat or waiting for people or stuff like that. I feel like it kind of adds a lot of continuity to videos. And I think this will just add a whole new aspect to that kind of transitional period in between stops and things like that. And then the big one, the one that I've been wanting for so damn long. I can't even tell you how long I've wanted one of these, but I also purchased the Dji Spark. Now, for those of you who have no idea what this is a drone. Yes, this thing that is this tiny, barely the size of my head, is a drone. Now, this definitely isn't the best drone on the market. It retails for about $600 for the Flymore package, which comes with the controller and things like that. The reason I went with the Spark as opposed to something such as the Mavic or the Mavic Pro or the Mavic Pro Platinum is I just feel that those drones are a little overkill for YouTube in general, especially for a channel such as mine. And the reason I say that is because not a lot of my stuff takes place off bike. All the off bike stuff is kind of just a perspective gain. And that's one thing that I really focused on with the Spark, or with the drone in general, is I wanted to add another perspective, because when we do the Twisted Sisters rides and things like that, I want to be able to capture a better idea of the landscape so that you, the viewer, almost feel like you're there. And I feel like that's going to be an incredible tool for me to use to provide that. Now, I know there's going to be a bunch of people that's like, oh, well, the Mavic's only $600 more, which is twice as expensive. But I mean, it's YouTube, okay? I guarantee everyone that's going to be saying those comments probably has nowhere near the videography experience I have, and probably just doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. 1080p, 30 frames a second. Granted, I wish it was kind of 60, but for drone shots, you're going to want smoothness, which ironically enough, you get better smoothness when you shoot 30 frames per second as opposed to 60 frames a second, as long as you know how to work it into your project and your timeline, things like that, which I do. So that tool is going to be plenty for me. And also a big thing is when people are watching YouTube, chances are they're going to be watching it on their phone or they're going to be watching on their computer screen, both of which have a very low probability of being a true 4K resolution. Now you might say, oh, in 5 years, everyone's going to have 4K. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And in 5 years, can you imagine how cheap 4K drones are going to be? So right now, I feel like that's great. I feel like it's going to be a great addition to the channel. Problem is, you're probably not going to see any footage from the drone for about a month. Reason being, the FAA has recently kind of started cracking down on YouTube and stuff like that. YouTube used to fall into kind of a gray area within the FAA regulations. Not so much anymore. I believe it was Part 107, some amendment or something like that, pretty much cleared up the, is it for commercial use or is it for personal use? Basically, if you monetize your channel or you plan on monetizing your channel at some point, and you use drone footage, you need to be licensed as a commercial drone pilot. Basically, anything that's going to gain you any sort of monetary gain, you have to be a 107, Part 107 UAS licensed drone pilot. Which sounds a lot more scary and difficult than it is. Basically, you take a 1.5 to 2 hour course, which you can find online for free, and then you call up the FAA, say, hey, I need to take a test. They tell you where to go take the test. You take the test, and then you wait a while for paperwork, and then you're certified. I also already got the drone registered as a commercial drone, which is more expensive than the recreation license or recreation registration. All in all, it's going to cost me about $210, which isn't a huge amount of money. But the reason I'm spending the $210, $215, whatever, is because the fines in general, but the fines specifically in Texas are ridiculous. You're looking anywhere between $25,000 and $250,000, $250,000 in fines for doing something illegal with a drone. And we all know I have between 3 and 7 haters that have notifications turned on, so all it would take is for one person to make the right phone calls and report me to the right people for me to be in a very sticky situation. So I'm going to cover my ass as much as possible to avoid that happening, and that way I really just don't have anything to worry about. I can sleep better at night knowing that I'm not gonna either go to jail or owe $250,000 because I didn't want to spend a few hours and a couple $100 to get everything sorted. All right, so enough about the drone. If you have any other questions that I didn't cover, just go ahead and ask me down in the comments and I'll answer them. But finally, to the piece that you've probably been waiting for, and that is the Sportster build series part 2, season 2, I don't know what you want to call it. So I've been getting a lot of feedback on the channel that I don't ride the Sportster enough, and I agree with you 110%. It's a little sickening to know that that bike is paid off and in perfect running condition, and I just don't ride it that much. And I kind of sat back and thought of, besides the obvious that the Dyna is just funner and faster and things like that, why I wasn't riding the Sportster. And it kind of just made me realize that after I built it and it was done, and I just didn't really get the enjoyment out of it that I expected to once it was rebuilt. So I felt that it's not finished. Of course, bikes are never really finished, but I kind of wanted to start taking the Sportster in a new direction. I feel that the way it sits now, don't get me wrong, I love the way it looks great. I just feel like I can do more. So after kind of thinking what route I'd want to take it, I kind of fell on like the cafe racer style, but I feel like 1, the cafe racer is becoming a little too overplayed, and 2, it just looks so damn uncomfortable. One of the guys I rode with on Connor's ride, he has a sort of a cafe style Sportster. It's got the clip-ons and everything, and don't get me wrong, it looks badass. It looks so cool, but then being not hunched over for that amount of time, it just doesn't look comfortable for me, and I feel like that would cause me to ride the bike less. Penny, you're in the shot. Could you not? Clear out. Move it, woman. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Come say hi. I know, I've been teaching you so much to not jump, but I'm trying to get you up here now. No, there, come on. Say hi, everybody. Okay, Penny, that's enough. All right, go lay down. I said lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Ah, go lay down. Go lay down. So after doing a little bit of research and kind of digging around, I found one style that looked more comfortable, but also suited me better, and I believe looked cooler than how it sits now, and that is the street tracker style. Now, for those of you who are unaware what a street tracker looks like, basically like this. Now, of course, I'm not going to do that color or anything like that. I'm going to keep the color basically the same, but I am going to do that completely change rear end. I got a whole list of things. I hit up Get Lowered, I pitched the idea to them. They absolutely loved the idea. They were totally for it. So they're going to be sponsoring that build as well. Come on! That's the other one now. Shh, I'm making a video. You want to say hi to everybody? She wants to say hi. All right, come on. There she is. Say hi, everybody. All right, that's enough. So there you have it. Sportster Build Series Part 2. I don't have a set timeline for this. I'm hoping to have it started by April, May timeframe, but as far as a finished timeframe, who knows? I'm not putting a ton of parts on the bike, but the parts that I am going to be putting on are quite expensive, so it's going to depend on a lot of different aspects. So there you have it, folks. That is the plan for 2018, some of the goals for 2018. As far as like levels, I want to hit 1 million views and I want to hit 10,000 subscribers. Those are very achievable goals. I feel like we'll probably hit that by June. But big things come after 10K, apparently. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But it's kind of one of the YouTube rumors is that once you pass 10K, you fall into a different category within the algorithm and things like that. So let's cross our fingers. Well, if you have any questions of what I talked about today, like I said, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. If you have anything that you would like to see in 2018, leave your suggestions down in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.